How you doing, cats? This is Roto from 100 Hounds, The Cringe, and Roto's Magic Act. I am here at the amazing British Audio in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, where even school children know what an Alnico pickup is and that it does not have four wheels. A great town to be a guitar player and a great store to be a guitar player because, in part, they carry an incredibly full line of vintage guitars. What are vintage guitars? Well, they're designed by the amazing Trev Wilkinson. You know the name, you know the hardware. You may not know the incredible pickups, the incredible body designs, the incredible relicking work on models like this one, which is part of their Icon series. It's the V100MRTSB for Tobacco Sunburst. I also have a Cherry Sunburst version of more or less the same guitar. We'll get to that in a second. But let me introduce you to vintage guitars and some of the amazing feature set that they include. Dig it? One really notable thing about this guitar that Rick Taylor and the good folks at Vintage were able to put together for me is a feature that's found on their V100 Lemon Drop, and that is the very interesting reverse-fitted neck double coil, okay, and the out-of-phase center position on this thing. Now this is, of course, evocative of the great Peter Green's legendary Les Paul known as Greenie, and it's a very distinctive sound. You'll notice here, if you look, you can see closely, the pickups, typically you would have these switch this way, so you'd actually have the pole pieces right towards the very edge of the neck here, and then in the bridge position you would have them back towards the bridge, but it is reversed here, and there's a lot of cool things you can do with this, especially when you're in this middle position, for a slightly, maybe you might call it quackier blues tone. Get a lot of sing out of it, and that out-of-phase thing really adds a certain character to it. Otherwise, these pickups are pretty much Trev Wilkinson's awesome PAF-style double coils, and they are extremely nice. They're extremely beautiful too to look at. They're just sort of satiny and lovely up front, and they've got a really nice classic PAF-style sound to them, much like you'd hear on an old Led Zeppelin album with Jimmy Page or a lot of Clapton's Blues Breaker era stuff. If you're looking for that kind of classic tone, these PAFs are absolutely to die for. You'll also notice that the tuners have that kind of Kluson style, sort of deep lime color. They're super solid, and that's another innovation that Trev Wilkinson put together for this V100 line of guitars, and indeed all its guitars that you can see behind me. This guitar's got an awesome range of tones, whether you want to do full bore gain or you want to clean it up a little bit. It's great for heavy chunking stuff. Just got a lot of really nice heavy sounds behind it. Of course, it's also great for lead playing. It's got these lovely jumbo frets. It's a manly thick neck, but it's hardly difficult to play. In fact, I would describe it as a pretty darn fast neck, if anything. But it's an awesome guitar, the V100MRTSB, again, part of the Icon series. of guitars. And I'm going to show you another one of the Icon series in just a second here, and that is the V100, and that is the MRCS in Cherry Sunburst. And that has the more standard, if you will, pickup setup with Trev Wilkinson's vintage voiced humbuckers. And that one's right here. This one is also quite mammoth sounding when you're doing the high gain, but it has a terrific character even at lower gain settings or just quite completely clean. Let's keep in mind that the guitars that this design was inspired by were originally jazz guitars. I believe they may have had the name of a legendary jazz guitarist just on the tip of my tongue. I can't quite come up with it. But I think you know what I mean. You got a nice clean sound. And if you want to go for that kind of, now that's on the bridge pickup here. The middle pickup will get you a lot of nice kind of lovely grainy sounds as well. This guitar is a clean beast, actually, and you can. It's got this very lovely distressed finish. We all know what relic guitars can set you back in this day and age, and you will be very happy to learn that even with these stunning vintage voice pickups, this gorgeous kind of matte relic finish, a devastating neck, again with beautiful aesthetics throughout, gorgeous fret job, the classic Clouson style tuners. You will be delighted to learn that this guitar will not only not break your budget, but kind of inspire you to run out and maybe get two, just like I did. That was what happened to me. I had another guitar in mind completely, came to the store here at British Audio in Nashville, saw this thing, and called back the next day and say, "You remember that Cherry?" Yeah, I'm going to have to get that one. These guitars just have a way of inspiring you to play. They have a way of inspiring you to want to bust these things out. And I can tell you, I brought this guy down to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest with me, and I've never gotten so many questions about the guitar I was playing. And everyone wanted to know what was up with this thing. It just belted out of my amps. I had a matchless DC-30 and a twin in stereo using a Friedman BEOD overdrive, and this thing was just mammoth. I mean, just a chunky, heavy sound that filled the stage. Did not need 412s to do it either. I got it out of just those 12-inch speakers, and it just sounded really huge. So that's the V100 MRTSB for Tobacco Sunburst, and the V100 MRCS for Cherry Sunburst. Both devastating. One with the vintage voice pickups, and one with the more PAF style. You kind of can't go wrong either way, and if you do get two, you get an awesome range of tones. They get shape in that. I thought we'd do the whole thing in a British accent, because you know, you've got British audio and you've got Trev Wilkinson. I thought it would be nice if I just did it all sounding a bit like David Beckham.
David, you
That's what we're going to do then. No, kidding.
You did nail it though.
Is this